Welcome back to another episode of Desire to Inspire, yo mama's favorite podcast. Bucks by a billion this week, baby.
Dude, I don't think I followed football at all this year.
That's a damn shame.
Like, even I'm playing fantasy and I don't know anything that's going on in the actual NFL. I just look at game logs and try to make a best decision.
You look at the rankings of fantasy at least?
Like, you mean like where I'm at?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like keeping up with my team, but like I don't know what these players are actually doing is what I'm getting at.
You see where I'm at?
No, I didn't look at that.
The top of the fucking leaderboard, baby.
I'm somehow like
7-1.
battling my way in.
7-1.
I started out real bad. Everyone was injured. People are starting to come back. We're coming back around. I'm like 500 for the season.
Yeah, that's like our other league. Our other league is wide open in terms of who can win and the rankings and everything right now. But
the shitty part is 7-1 gets you to the playoffs. That's not the best place to be.
Yeah. No, I'm going to keep riding this out.
Yeah, might as well.
I am. But since you haven't been following football, you might not know who Ohio State plays this
Definitely
week.
don't. That was my first thought when you said that.
They are playing Penn State, which is one of my favorite games.
Oh, you know what? I actually did
even though Penn State sucks this year.
I only thought that because I saw Chad post that he had tickets for sale.
Yep.
Only reason I know.
Yeah, I would have bought those if I could. I would love to go to that game. So I've been thinking.
Okay.
We have talked endlessly about endurance, I feel like, on this on this season of the DTI podcast.
Mm-hmm. It's been an endurance heavy year.
Yeah, very, very, very much so. That will always remain a staple and always be something that we talk about because of the benefits that it yields for not only your physical health, but your mental health. So I figured on this episode, we could kind of steer away from endurance focused.
Wow.
And I got some questions written down that I'll ask you, and then we can just bounce back and forth. Some of them, maybe we expand on. Some of them we don't. But I was just thinking because, like, this time of year, the end of year comes, and you'll naturally hear people start talking about what they're going to do next year already instead of how they can finish this year strong. And so I was kind of doing a little bit of reflection today when I was journaling. As you know, this was hopefully one of my last like road weeks in terms of work. I think the rest of the year is just going to be a little bit more easygoing. I won't have to go and be at facilities and things because the lay of the land is kind of already tilled and put in place until next year. So was on the road all of this week, got back late last night, and then I have one more trip the week of Thanksgiving to Florida, and that's the only travel I have until we go home for the holidays. So I was sitting there this morning drinking my coffee, had the fireplace lit, got my workout in, and I was just kind of thinking like, man, there's been a lot of stuff that's went on this year, both good for both of us, both indifferent for both of us, both in the mental side, the physical side, the professional side. Like, there's just been so many good things that have happened this year that I hope that all of that continues. And so as I was reflecting, I was like, you know what, it'll be fun to take this podcast in a different direction than endurance for this week.
I kind of like this because I've been doing, my birthday's only a couple weeks away, and I've been reflecting a lot over like the last year, but even more so I think the next year, like what that's going to mean. But I told Mandy this week that I feel like for the first time, maybe in my life, this birthday feels like I'm going to be an adult. And I don't know why.
Damn.
But like the last couple months, it's been like 32 just feels like an adult. Like 31, you can kind of get away with it. But like something about this just feels solid to me. Like, oh shit, This is real. I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Which most people would argue I haven't been for a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't feel that way.
Well, I hope that you coming out of your kid era doesn't turn you into some
I don't think that's possible.
Non-sarcastic.
I don't think that's doable.
Serious person. All right, so I guess like thinking of that, just expand on that a little bit more. What have those thoughts been like, or like why does it feel as if that's
I don't know. Like I don't have a solid reason. It just feels like this is like, maybe it's like knowing that like I'm getting married, kids are on the horizon, like all of that.
Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily tie into adulthood because I know a lot of people with children who are not adults. But I just feel like there's like, I guess we're like at a shift in life, it feels like. And for a while, like this has kind of been a hobby, and I feel like we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, like it's either now or never. Mm-hmm. Like we got to start taking things serious. And so I think that shift is making everything else in my life feel more serious. And it's like, we said this multiple times since being engaged. Like, it's not about just us anymore. And it's not even necessarily just about like our future wives. It's like about like we're building legacy generationally at this point. And it's like we need to take advantage of what we have now. And so I feel like, I don't want to say I feel more pressure around it, but in a sense it is like a pressure. Like it's like, oh, like this is on me now. Like if I want to do the things that we keep saying we're going to do, this is the time for me to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't said anything on here, and I'm not going to say anything on here about like where our minds are at of what is to come. But I was in the beginning of us starting this conversation and like ironing out the details around things. I was very much so. It's like, we can't talk about this until it's fucking happened, and like it's going to happen. But I think that there is going to be a shift, not before this season ends, because there's only one more episode after this one until season 3 starts in the new year. But talking about it and publicly putting it out there, I think is going to be very good for us.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I keep learning, and it's weird, like as we focus on different areas of life, it's like buying a car. You're like, man, I really want to get a truck. And then all of a sudden you start seeing all these fucking trucks. That to me is a sign from the universe. Like, okay, you're meant to have this truck or you're meant to have this new car. Like, go and get it if that's what you want and that's where you're at in the buying process of a truck or whatever it is. And so like, take that a step further, buying houses and stuff. It's like, okay, I catch myself doing this a little bit more. Then my algorithm gets tailored a little bit more. And then I'm learning about mortgages and buy downs and all these different things that are involved in that. And then I'm learning about the building process and the upgrades. And so you just start naturally thinking about more things.
That's kind of scary because my algorithm is really parenthood driven right now.
Oh, God.
It's a lot of like dads working out with their kids or like talking about like why they need to work out for their kids.
Mandy.
That's kind of scary now.
Sponsored time. You guys know the deal. Here at DTI, we want to help people live a healthier, happier lifestyle. We're excited to partner with First Form because their mission is to impact one person's life a day. First Form gives us the capabilities to help you guys reach and achieve the goals you set forth. Utilize First Form through their supplements or their merchandise to live a more active lifestyle, putting yourself first and prioritizing the things that are important. Try First Form today with the link below. Back to the show. But I've just noticed, like, even around these business conversations, like, more shit pops up. And it's weird, too, because, like, ads in videos that I'm watching on YouTube, that would be like a Logan Paul podcast. Ads that pop up are tailoring towards conversations we're having. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But again, I think that that's a sign from the universe. Some people believe in that, some don't. But if we can harness those signs that we're getting and actually keep diving into it, more and more is going to keep coming of that knowledge base or of that thing to be able to keep propelling you forward. And sometimes it's hearing somebody say something where it's like, oh shit, okay, let me think this way or let me consider this. And so I'm even having that. I talked about Alex Ramosi on the last podcast, like stuff that he's saying.
I did go listen to it, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Stuff that he's saying is resonating with me because I'm like, okay. And there comes a point where it's like, dude, no, fuck what the world is telling you about, like, you know, take it easy. You've been dialed for 6 months or whatever. Like, you after this marathon could easily be like, dude, I've been training so hard, I'm fucking done. Instead, a week later, not even a week later, you run 15 miles. And then after that, you just told me today that you're at 29 miles for the week. We have an 18-mile run on Saturday. Like, you could take the time off, but you also know, like, no, I already got the next goal on my calendar. It's a 100-miler. And then who knows what's coming after that. So, like, again, it naturally progresses as long as you go after it. But when we have thoughts in our head, I personally jot them down so that way I can remember them, or topics or quotes or things like that. And so I think, like, as these things come to us in our head, we have to just keep top of focus of that because it's just going to continue to build that snowball. And so I say all this because very soon I think, like, we can start just putting out there concepts, ideas, thought processes of where this is going, where we're taking this, why we're not pivoting, but why we're like, okay, this could be the next phase of this future that takes us into it. So it's just, like you said, it's really cool because big areas of our life, instead of like a rocky terrain, I feel like are now slowly paved out.
Yeah, I think that where this season was endurance heavy, season 3 is going to be very business heavy. And I think that is going to, I don't want to say it's going to push like our audience in a different direction. Because I think, like, the people who are bought in, we're still obviously going to talk health, mental health, like
Oh,
all the same stuff that we talk about, because it's all, at the end of the day, it's habits, and it's the same thing that we talk about every single week. But I think it's going to bring in a new audience too. And it's going to be cool to see like the way that it expands. And we already kind of like see it in different content that we're making, where it's like, it's not just this one thing anymore. But also at the same time, I've listened to that Hormozy episode that you sent me. I've listened to Gary Vee a few times this week. And it's like, they're literally just saying to continue to say the same thing that you believe in and you have conviction in. And I think that we have that already here. And we've been saying now for damn near a year about this concept that we're going to begin to talk about. I think you're right. Like, we didn't want to say anything at first. And it wasn't necessary for any reason. We just didn't want the idea to get out there. And I think like we have a different viewpoint and perspective around like, okay, it doesn't really matter if we talk about this out loud anymore, especially now there's a lot more research and legwork put into it. But I think that actually like being open about like the whole process and letting people into like, this is where we're at. Yeah. And this is where we're going is going to be cool for them to see, but also like for us to look back on years from now and be like, oh, like we talked about this from inception to making it happen. Yeah. Just like we're obsessed with habits and we preach those all the time. Like you said, we're not going to stop talking about mental and physical health. Like that is the roots of this. That's what's going to hold us in the ground, or that's our foundation. And because of those, the mental and physical health and establishing those habits are why our brains are now thinking the way they are. And they're why our brains now have the capabilities to be like, holy shit, we've been doing all this because this can be the next puzzle piece. And then we can build it from here. And then we can incorporate this. And so, dude, I talk about all the time. And I said in my daily drive-by this week, like, starting is the main thing. It's the hardest thing. Keeping going is easy if you have self-discipline and you actually believe in it to the core. And so I was talking about like looking back at my life and the journeys and the things that I've been through. The greatest thing that I've taken out of there is the discomfort of not being comfortable, and realizing that through discomfort and the failures or the tragic moments in my life, those have all propelled me into that next, we'll call it chapter or whatever, where I thought differently, act differently, did differently, became a different person. In many ways that I'm like extremely proud of. Other ways where I'm like, okay, I can still build on this. I can still grow here. And so listen to this week's Daily Drive-By if you haven't, because I kind of go over like those different chapters. But the main message in it was like, you got to be challenging yourself. We talk about do hard things, but then there's outside of do hard things where we incorporate that a lot with like endurance and physical activity. You have to be uncomfortable and you have to fail along the journeys. There's been many times where we're like, look back and we're like, dude, we shouldn't have fucking invested the money in that. That was a waste of it. Like, I think back to that $5,000 investment we made early on, like got absolutely nothing out of it. But we started, we tried, and guess what? We went this way, then we went this way, and it would have never connected the path to where we're at. Like, and arguably, I think we got things out of it. Yeah, but like, did we get $5,000 worth? No, but I did. We got things out of it. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so it's just like really exciting for me to like sit here and talk about. But I said that society paints us as we have to like remain comfortable. We have to remain in this bubble because it's safe, it's protected. We know what it is. We can't let any outside things in that might like jeopardize this or whatever. But when you want to achieve and you want to dream big and you want to go after things, like you have to like not have a bubble around you, and you have to realize like, okay, we might spend this money, but we're going to take what we can out of it. Might be a good investment, bad one. And it just all teaches you a lesson of just becoming fully obsessed with your brand, your identity, your beliefs, to be able to go and achieve that. Because it doesn't matter if 500 people have already done it. It doesn't matter if 5,000 people have. There's so many people in this world that'll gravitate towards our stories to be like, you know what? Yeah, I feel this way. I think this way. I want to do it this way. And so I think that as we continue the roots and the foundation of it, and we tie in the business part of it next year and we start talking about these things more, it's going to be like, oh. And I think that's when the light bulb's going to click for a lot of people, where it's like they were using endurance for the discipline, for the consistency, for the hardness, for this, because it fueled and drove everything over here, which was actually the main goals, but we weren't talking about those. Yeah. Because they're so like, you can't see them. But as you go through these different journeys, adventures, it teaches you something. Yeah, I think up to this point, we've just been talking vision the whole time. Like, we've been talking about, like, the things that we want and never really, like, diving deep on, like, what that looks like practically.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of to piggyback off of, like, how you started, like, about, like, all these signs pointing in different directions, the amount of sermons or podcasts or, like, different things that I've listened to, I'll say over the last, I don't even want to say 2 weeks because it's been shorter than that, like, week and a half, conversations in person, everything's been talking about, like, this vision and how, like, you have to have the idea, but at the end of the day, nobody cares about the idea. It's all about the execution. And it's like, I've been talking about, like, a long-term vision. Like, you have to see it at some point, but just because, like, you want it doesn't mean that it's going to happen now. Mm-hmm. And so, like, so many people say that they're waiting for it to happen, but they're not doing any of the work in the background to make it happen. It's like, God can give you this vision, but if you don't put in the work, like, that vision's never going to come to fruition. So it's like, yeah, you need it, and you need patience, and you need discipline, you need all these things. But, like, those things in and of themselves aren't going to get you where you need to go. So it's like, to be patient, but while doing the work. And that's where, like, I feel like the disconnect is for so many people is, like, they just talk big ideas and, like, they throw things out there and never actually put action behind them and execute and then get to this end goal to be like, oh, this is what he's been saying this whole time. And that's a whole nother societal issue of just talking a big game and not actually following up, which to a lot of people we could be guilty of, but they don't see what happens in the background. And so I think that that's why we try to document the things that we do, at least on the physical side. Obviously, business is like its whole different thing that's a little more private than that. Yeah. But it is about to come to light very soon. And so, like, I've even, like, been hesitant to, like, even want to talk about it with other people because I'm like, I don't want to fall victim to that of, like, oh, it's going to happen. And, like, we're not sitting here on our heels waiting for it to happen. Like, we're, like, pursuing this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool too, because, like, throughout this, the journey of going after something that you love, like thinking about bringing on clients and getting them to instill habits and stuff into their life. The people that buy into the concept and understand that this is, like, a lifelong thing that we're trying to help them with and not that 30, 60, 90 days see this result. The people that buy into that, I would say almost tenfold elevate their lives because they were willing to take I'm not going to say slower approach. I'm going to say the smarter approach where it's like, hey, I'm at 0 right now and I want to get to 100, but I'm going to instill this habit and start working out 2 days a week. And then I'm going to start incorporating walking. And then I'm going to start incorporating journaling and visualization and cold showers and all these things. And next thing you know, those 2 days turned into 3, turned into 4, turned into 5. And then it was like, okay, well, I still want to see results. And now they could open their mind to realize that in order to see those results, it's not going to come for how hard you work out or how long you work out. Now it's like, what's the discipline you have eating? Are you going to say no to those things when you go out? Are you going to say no to the fried chicken, the french fries, the pizza when everybody else is eating it? Because if you truly care and you want to lose 50 pounds, you got to be different than everybody else. Yeah. You can't go through life thinking that you're going to lose 50 pounds, remaining the same and saying yes to everything. And so once they get those habits instilled, then you can get them to see the nutrition and macros and all that stuff. But it's at least early on for me, it was like, all right, you want to see these results? All right, work out 5-6 days a week, eat this amount of calories, do this, do that. And I'm like, what is going on? Yeah. But again, you paint the big picture of what you want in life. You step back, you evaluate it, and it's like, all right, here's how I can start working towards it. And those daily habits will then open that next door, that next chapter, that next light that you can see down to be like, oh, shit, I can't believe I stayed like this for so long.
Yeah. It's 'cause when it's painted that way, it seems like the slower approach mentally. And it's because, like, they've lived in this state of instant gratification for so long that if they don't get a reward right away, wow, that was going to be a real tongue twister.
Should have kept it.
But if they don't get the reward right away, they like feel like something's not working. And so it seems slower. But the truth of it is the shortcut is going to be a longer way. Like, you think you're taking a shortcut, but really you're just hurting yourself. You're not giving yourself that consistency. You're not giving yourself that discipline. You're not giving yourself the tools that it actually takes to make this sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
And so it might help you in a week, but what does it look like in a month? Whereas if you took the month, now you have all of these things in place that are helping you build on the next month. You're not, I'm going for a week and I fall off for 3. Now I'm like, okay, let me get my shit back together. And you do it again. And it's rinse and repeat of never showing up for yourself.
Preach.
And constantly like your mental's going down because you don't do the things you say you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you just start slow, it's actually the only way for it to happen. It's not a shorter or longer way. It's the only way it's going to make sense.
Yep. You got to start training that mind that when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do something. So subconsciously, you know that you're going to achieve things and do them. It's a really big factor in something that will pan out to show the value of it more and more as time goes on. But yeah, can't stress enough about the small daily actions. Mm-hmm. They fucking compound. So one of the things that I had, just talking into like next year and what we want it to be, an elevation of this year. Like every year we want to get better and better, knowing that there's going to be good and bad times in it. But I want to take a step back and see what you learned this year, like 1 to 3 things that you learned this year that have given you the way to like transform your mind and the way that you're thinking, or the next birthday that seems like it's going to be different. Like whatever it is, what are 3 things that you took away from this year that have helped shape and form not only this year, but maybe what'll carry into 26?
These are where I wish I had questions ahead of time, so I could like really give these like deep thought. Cause I feel like I come off the cuff, and then when I edit it, I'm like, that's not, like I could have come up with something so much better. But I think that I'm just gonna, obviously now we're going off the cuff.
Oh yeah.
One of them's going to be tied back to endurance because it's obviously top of mind. I think that one of them is like being okay with the failure, which is something that's obviously been prevalent throughout the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like Chicago really like solidified it for me. It was like, okay, like obviously sucks. Not what we wanted. Not what we worked for. But what can you make of this? And I think there's been a lot of good things already that have come from it. And it's only going to snowball effect into next year as we enter a time that's probably going to be filled with more failure. Mm-hmm. Realistically, like it is what it is. Business is that type of a place. And even if the end goal ends up being a success, like there's a ton of places we're going to fall short and fail along the way.
Yep.
But like that is a big one. And I think just like I've always been open-minded, but like really allowing myself to like see other perspectives this year. And I don't like have like tangible examples of this, but like I was someone who was very like not even like quick to like shut down other perspectives, because like I said, I've been open-minded for a while, but more so like not argue my own perspective and like being okay with like I don't need to like try to convince this person that my way is right. Like there can be multiple right ways. Like there's a lot of different ways to get to an end goal. Mm-hmm. And so like just being able to like step back and assess that like why does this person think this way? Like,
and what he's referring to, guys, is he was a really big Joe Biden fan. And so Trump being in office, he's been struggling with that. So he's trying to change his perspective.
No, this is a lot of things though. Like just like there's been times where it's like I'm listening to like win an argument that's not even really anything of relevance instead of like to understand. And so just like being able to identify like this person thinks this way because they've done this that I've never been through, or like they were raised a certain way and that like has foundational beliefs now that push them in this direction. And like things like that, I would say are something that's big just in general. It's just like being, I guess at the end of the day, it's like being less reactionary. I think that that's something that comes with age as well. Like when you're young, you just want to fucking fly off the handle, pop off on people, which I've definitely had my fair share of. I've definitely been that guy before. Glad I'm not there now. But yeah, those are 2 for sure. I think I'm gonna have to think on a 3rd one.
That's fine.
Optic Nerve was our very first sponsor here at the Desire to Inspire podcast, and it's still one that we are pumped to be partnered up with today. I was linked up with them when I was living in Colorado. They are owned and operated out of Vail, and all of their products get tested in the mountains, so you know that it's built for an active lifestyle. Freddie and I rock these things all the time. They are made with planet-friendly materials, from recycled plastics to natural wood, and every pair comes with a lifetime warranty. So, I mean, what are you really doing? Hit the link in our bio, support DTI, support Octave Nerve, look fly doing it. Whether you're just out enjoying a nice stroll or getting active, Optic Nerve has got
your bag. So go to opticnerve.com and use code DTI for 20% off your order today. That's opticnerve.com, code DTI.
And just so you know, I have not put any thought into these questions. They literally
I swear
came
to God,
me.
if you like basically just start reading off a script, dude.
No, they came to me this morning when I was journaling.
Okay.
So I just wrote down, I think there's like 5 or 7 of them. But all I did was jot them down. And then I was like, we can talk about these on air. And so the one, I would say the main thing that I'm taking away from this year that I've learned from this year is the value of compound interest. And I made a daily drive-by about this, so I won't go into it like too far. But we all know compound interest as taking money, investing it over time. It grows into a bigger pot of money. Very easy concept. But when you can take different things and analyze them in a different way, that same meaning, that same concept can be applied in so many different areas of our life. So like I look at it from the mental and physical side. Compound interest is checking off those habits every single day of the daily journals, the cold showers, the visualizations, meditations, soaking in God's medicine, getting your workouts in, your runs in, allowing yourself the freedom to go on a vacation and enjoy it, and or go and celebrate something with a friend, but you still have that structure and that thing that you've put in more currency than that other thing that's not as good or bad, or the weeks that you fall off. And so I look at compound interest in my life, and there's been a few months where I'm like, damn, like I could have been better this week, or I could have done this more. But then I look at the whole year and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking winning the year. Like that 1 week didn't throw me off because I've been consistent everything else. And so again, that ebbs and flows like throughout the week. There's been, or a year, there's been months where I'm like, damn, I could have done this. But like overall, when you look back at the year, it's like, nope, I can confidently say that I fucking won this one. So the value of compound interest. And then I look like at the house that we were just blessed to be able to like put the down payment on and stuff like that. Dude, I've been preaching to all of my fucking friends since I graduated college. Start investing. And like I finally got to see the value of why that was important. Because like, I hate to say this because I feel like people are, oh, you're bragging this and that. But like when we put the money down for the house, like we didn't feel it. And it like that to me felt really good, because there's been a lot of times where I'm like, oh, should I not invest this month because like I'm struggling like financially right now, like when I wasn't being smart with my money and stuff. But I stuck to the script and it paid off. So that's another example of compound interest. Another one is my mindset. Dude, 4 years ago, I would constantly have thoughts, like bad thoughts about myself, about life, about like anything going on in it, why I'm not this and people are saying I'm this. Like anything good that somebody said, I always had a rebuttal of why I wasn't that, or anything. Like the thoughts now, like, knock on wood, I don't have any dark thoughts anymore. I don't have any dark days anymore. Like when something bad happens, I'm able to react in a way where it's like, okay, how do I move on from this? Even though some days might be sad, or some days I might be in my head about stuff, like I don't have nearly at all any more of those thoughts that I once had. And so because of putting in this compound interest over the years is why I'm to this place now. And so any way that you can think of compound interest, friendships, your diet, your health, your work, like all of this stuff, the compound interest of me working for this company and going through a training program to then here has gotten me here. And there's really beautiful things on the horizon for that as well. So it's a concept that I want to keep instilling in my life, because it's also from a business perspective. The more we put in, the more we'll be able to understand and see and grow and whatever. And so I think that that currency that we can start putting in those piggy banks and all those different buckets in our life will continue to yield the success that we want and make the good and bad times like this, instead of the bad times like this and the good times like this and all over the place. And so that was one thing that I really took away. And then later on in this year, it kind of goes off of like one of the things, but mine is just like listening. So I realized like in sales and in life, I have a lot of conversations in life where I question if the person I'm talking to is even hearing anything I'm saying, because there is always an automatic response. And I'm like, did you even have time to think about that? And so I'm trying to get a really good grip on consuming, thinking, processing, and then elaborating. And it goes off of what you said, like being reactionary and shit like that. Like I just want to be more intentional with how
it's like it's what's expected of you in a conversation. Like if you take a second to pause, people are like, hello.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, like I'm processing what you said and I want to give you like a thoughtful response. I don't just want to give you an answer just because you're wanting an answer.
Yeah. And it's like so many conversations. I'm just like, okay, I don't really know. So I'm listening more to be able to hopefully respect other people more and understand, like even in sales, like if somebody tells me, oh yeah, my dog got injured this past weekend, it's like, okay, follow up and like remember that, ask about his dog. Or like I was talking to somebody yesterday, one of our clients, and we were talking about this concept and they kind of brought it to my head of like, I've already actually been doing this, but like I can focus on this more. But they were saying like if they tell their Starbucks order that they get, like bring them a random Starbucks order one day, they'll remember that. So there's a lot of little things where I just want to be more intentional and grounded in conversations. Because I feel as if I do a really good job of hearing other people's perspectives. I might not fucking agree with them, which is totally fine, but I'll take it in, I'll listen, I'll learn. Hey, and if you believe that,
there might be a little something you could be like, oh, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Or at least like I get why you believe that. I think you're dead fucking wrong,
yeah,
but I get it.
And I'm fine with it.
I do have another one now.
Let's hear it, baby.
I think that this one has been like growing over time, but this is the first time, it's very recent, that I like feel it and I understand like that none of this is real. And let me like explain what I mean by that. I mean like the self-doubt and the negative like, oh, don't post this because so-and-so is going to think this. Or like all those thoughts are in my head. They're not real. Like none of that is like backed up and confirmed anywhere. That's 100% me just trying to talk myself out of it. In the same way that like Kanye West has delusional confidence, it's not real either. Like he had no reason to think that. Or anybody like who has like this is exuding confidence in that way, like it's also not real. And so it's like the way that you talk to yourself actually matters, which we say all the time. But like we say that in a way of like, oh, like hype yourself up, like whatever. But like no, like if you say it enough times, like you're gonna eventually become confident in whatever you want to do. But too many of us live with the other voice. But that's the same with like trolls online, people hating in the comments, not real. And also if they praise you in the comments, not real. Like don't take any of that as validation or confirmation or whatever it is. But too much stuff like is in the universe that we allow to like penetrate and actually hold meaning that's not real.
Yeah. Not real. And too, like you can expand on that to be like, if those are the things that stop you from going after your dreams, ambitions, do you actually believe in that stuff? Or are you just saying it because you think that's what people want to hear?
But how long, like we've done it. We've like allowed like the thoughts to be like, oh, like somebody's going to say something about the content that I post.
Yeah, but we continue to push
some in certain lanes.
In certain lanes. But again, like we haven't let it stop us from like doing this, like social media posting on the internet. Like, yeah, we have, but I wouldn't say that's because of those things.
I would say mine is.
Really?
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I don't think I would.
It's like I put stuff out and I'm like, this is probably cringe, but also like all social media, like you consume something on social media.
Yeah.
That to their friends is cringe. Like the biggest influencer has people in their life who's like, why is he still doing this?
Yeah.
And I don't even like the term influencer. The biggest creator is like, why are they doing this?
Yeah. But if you're obsessed with it and you believe in it, keep fucking doing it, baby, because people are watching.
Trying.
Even if they hate you. The next thing I had was, how do you think you made the most impact for this year? For you this year?
Most impact on myself?
Yep.
Just being consistent. I think that this was the first year, like it's been reiterated by you, by Mandy, like by other people around me, that I was more dialed in this year. And I've also had the thoughts that like, that's not real. Like that I actually haven't been. And I had to like really talk myself through this actually a couple nights ago. Damn. Like I was just talking out loud and Mandy was like, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. She's like, no, like this is like what I'm here for. Like just talk it out. And she's like, because like you're coming back to a place where like you understand that you don't actually believe what you're saying. Like so like at least if you get it out, like you're coming full circle. And so I think like just being able to recognize the places that I have done well far overshadows, I don't even want to say fall short, but like overshadows the not being disciplined or like letting loose and stuff like that on a scale that is far greater than years past.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in your and Mandy's house. I can't imagine, like, I know Dylan personally, but I can't imagine, like, what you're like in your own home.
Well, I don't even know.
I feel like there's so many different, like, versions of you, and it's like, how is Dylan when he cooks? Like, I can see you sometimes, like, dancing around and fucking singing.
It all varies on, like, I like ride highs.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm high, I'm high. But then there's times where I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
And I'm in my head. I'm there a lot.
Like, I would like to see that version of you too, because I feel like even when we have opened up over the years, in my head, I'm like, there's no way that he can just fully be like this. Like, I feel you're very grounded and, like, secure person, and I know you say
that's what I need to portray. That's what people need to see of me. But that's so true, though. Like, you need to be that for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, somebody's got to be there to see me fucking break down.
And I want to see that. I don't know why. Not literally, but like,
no.
Again, I just don't. I don't envision you breaking down about.
It's not like a breakdown. It wasn't a breakdown at all. It was like just talking about places I feel like I could do better, and places that like I've been told I did better this year. But did I actually? And then like running around chasing my tail.
Yeah.
And then finally landing somewhere.
I like it. I had a word that I was going to use for mine, and it's been a while since I've drawn a blank, but it wasn't consistency. It was intentional. I feel like this year I was intentional with a lot of stuff, both personal life, professional life, and just overall the decisions that I've made in life. I feel like I did a really good job this year of like doing the things that I wanted to and not feeling forced to do things that others wanted me to do. And I think that's why I've seen a lot of different strides in myself, like personally, where I now like can finally confidently say I see potential in myself and I see all these different things that I once could never agree to or want to hear or anything like that. So I just feel like I was very intentional in a lot of decisions that I've made this year, knowing that they can always be better and I can always do better. But I feel like overall, when we talk about the grand scheme of things, like this year, I feel like I really, really won. And that's just because of the stuff that's been building and growing on each other throughout life.
Yeah.
So I feel good about that. Like I feel very happy in life and the decisions that I'm making and the things that I'm doing, where I'm at.
That's literally the only goal that you should strive for. Like if you can be happy with like where you're at and the things you're doing, like what else actually matters?
Yeah. Never really thought of it. It's pretty cool to have this feeling because I don't think I've ever had it in life, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. Well, you're here now.
We're here now, though, baby. We're still fucking going. I had what is your happiest accomplishment this year, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would say. Wish I could say it was going sub 3. But I can't. Can't say it.
No, you can't. You can't even say you PR'd.
Okay. We're doing so good today.
Maybe my happiest one is my professional career.
I thought you were going to say signing for a house.
No. Happiest accomplishment. Like, I would say the happiest moment this year was getting engaged to Lo.
Oh, yeah, that was this year.
Yeah.
Mine was like the end of last year, so I keep forgetting that yours was actually this year because you're so close.
Yeah, like that's my happiest thing this year. I would say the house is the thing I'm most proud about. But when I think about like the happiest, like, dude, I love the company I work for. I love what I do. I love who my boss is. I love the people I work around. Like, I don't ever stress about work, which I'm extremely blessed about because I know a lot of people do. And
majority of people do.
Yeah. And so I would say that that's probably my happiest accomplishment because I really got into it like mid to late last year. But this is my first year like being in my role, having my own territory, making the own decisions, all that kind of stuff. So I would say like the way that the year is shaping up and like what I was able to do and the impact I was able to have in the company this year is probably like one of my happiest accomplishments. But again, it's not my happiest moment, my happiest like the house, marrying low, like all that kind of stuff. That's a different like realm and bucket that I would classify those things in, because nothing can compare to those or compete with them.
It's very wholesome of you.
Hey, you know, we're maturing out here.
Becoming adults, apparently.
And then naturally I bring it back. Think
to
about
endurance.
No, not to endurance. I bring it back to what are 5 habits that you would have people or tell people to do in 2026, going into 2026, because there's a lot of things that we both do that we talk about all the time, but I think reiterating and hammering home, like we talk about habits, we need to continue to talk about them. So I feel like that could be a good way to just like wrap up that little segment that we just did of questions. I had a couple more, but now that I look back on them, I'm like, these kind of all are the same question, just worded differently.
We also kind of banged through the first 20 minutes without even hitting a question.
Yeah.
So we're deeper in than you probably think we are.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. So let's end it with that. Like 5 habits that you think people should instill in their lives. We've talked about it. We've preached about it, but give it to them.
I think that a lot of ours are going to overlap.
Yep.
I think daily movement is very top of the list.
Preach.
Journaling is up there.
Preach.
And this year is like the first year that I didn't have to like my journaling was very different from your journaling, and now I'm on the same wave of journaling, and it's a lot easier to stay consistent when like you don't have some days I want to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gotta like extend it into like a different notebook. But like some days I'm like, this is all I needed was just a couple quick sentences, like get some thoughts out.
Yep.
And so journaling in whatever form works for you, but I do think I fought up against it for a long time, but the 5-year journal is pretty clutch.
We love the 5-year journal. Stay tuned.
Third, I'm just going to say eat cleaner. I don't know whatever your diet looks like, but I can guarantee like there's ways to clean it up.
I like that.
And it's going to help you function better. It's going to help your mental state, your clarity, your focus, your productivity, all of those things.
I saw you eating a salad the other day.
Uh-huh.
Drinking a water.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh, shit.
I had a beer.
Oh, did you?
Uh-huh.
It wasn't in the video.
I'm hooked on Caesar salad still.
Dude, they're amazing.
I can't stop.
I got a big pack down there that I'm about to
That
cook.
Cheats Philly cheesesteak place on the rail trail in South End, they just launched only at that location like a Caesar chicken hoagie thing, and it looks amazing, dude.
Oh, damn.
I might have to go get one this week.
Today.
What am I at? 3 things?
Yeah.
This one's gonna be very specific, and you might not you might not like it, but people might not like it. Invest in your faith in some way, whether it's praying, reading the Bible, whatever. I've been very consistently reading the Bible for like the last couple months. Have that study guide that I was really slacking on, but I'm like 200 pages in. I'm just reading it front on.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the beginning's hard to get through. Maybe don't start it this way. It's a lot. But that is like obviously something I put at the forefront of the year. It's been talked about a lot more. I've been getting into it a lot more this year. So that's one of them. And then number 5. This is habits for the year.
Yeah. Let me just add 5 since we're pretty much in parallel right now. And you're going to laugh, but just like the 5-year journal, I think we're converting our boy. But having a morning routine, and I know that there is a lot that can
all of these are in my morning routine, to be fair.
That's fine. And so I will always say when people like ask me about how I live or what they should do, it's first and foremost starting with a morning routine and making some sort of routine that you do. And I don't give a shit if it's waking up 10 minutes earlier. Just have something in there. Have patterns that you do every single day to put yourself forward. The morning routine is not to be like, oh, look at these boxes I checked off. But it's how can I show up for myself before I have to show up for the world? And how can I get the things that are important to me done? So that way when the world opens up and the day starts, I can't make excuses. I can't say that I'm not going to do it because this happy hour is going on or this call ran over or now you got to go pick up the kids somewhere. Like, just invest in taking care of yourself first thing in the morning. It's fine to wake up early and go to bed early. I don't know why there's this concept of people that are like, I stay up till like 11, 12 o'clock, and they use it as like a symbol of pride. That might be you. You might be a night owl.
But what are you doing at that hour?
Exactly. And so Ashton Hall, who I never had listened to. He's the big buff dude that runs on the internet.
I don't know if I know who he is.
He was the one that made the Saratoga water bottle. Like, he would dump that in and, like...
Oh, big black dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was just on...
became a meme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just on the Impulsive podcast as well. And...
oh, really?
Yeah. And he was talking... He said the same thing. He's like, what do you do that late? He's like, you're scrolling your phone, you're watching Netflix and stuff. He's like, no, I'd rather go to bed earlier and wake up earlier so that way I can be productive. And so that's kind of how I live my life. So I think to end the 5... is just to establish a morning routine and then have a nighttime routine as well.
All 4 of mine were done before I got here at 9:30, and I had meetings this morning. So, like, I have a morning routine now, guys. I'll admit it. I always had one. It was just never, like, a structured, but now it's, like, very, like, I have things that I do before or after I work out. So, like, it's not always the same, but I have key things that get thrown in the morning.
Yep. No, I love that. I like this episode a lot, and it just makes me sad that the season's almost ending because I feel like we were hot, and then we kind of, like, not faded off, but there was, like, a little dip where I wasn't like, man, that was a good one. And then we're fucking ending hot again, so it's just exciting. I love fucking doing these things. If you guys have any ideas, recommendations for what season 3 should look like set-wise, technology-wise, we are still looking for a camera guy that can do the back end. So the applications just flood in, but, you know, we haven't found the right one.
No perfect fit yet.
No perfect fit. If you're in the Charlotte area and somehow are listening to this and you know technology and you want to be on the back end, hit us up, dude. Join the team or girl. Mainly dudes, because we like dudes. Just kidding. Anyways, have the desire to inspire. Go out there, kiss your mama for us, and
or your dad, apparently,
or your dad, and have a good one. It's on.
Peace.